On my father's side, his grandparents were both deaf mutes. His mother wasn't very well after he was born, so he went to live with them. And of course they didn't speak, so everybody thought he was a deaf mute because he never spoke, because he didn't hear anybody speak. And somebody went there one day and said his name, and he turned his head and said, "I believe he can hear." He didn't hear anybody talk. I guess he didn't think he was supposed to. I don't know. But then they see he wasn't deaf. But as I say, for a year or two they thought he was because he didn't say anything. I don't know whether he didn't cry or what, but he didn't speak. He used to call them deaf and dumb. They weren't deaf and dumb. They just couldn't. They were just deaf. That's all. Of course, they couldn't speak, so afterwards they call them deaf mutes. I think they call them hearing impaired now, don't they? Of course, there was a lot of people in town who was deaf mutes, so everybody could talk with their hands. It wasn't hard. It wasn't easy because they couldn't spell. See, they never went to school, so they might know the first 2, 3 letters, and you had to guess what the rest of them were. But in the conversation, you could pick it up, you know.
So you could talk to people.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, I could a little. It's been so long now that I forgot a lot of it, a lot of the signs.
What signs do you remember?
What signs do I remember? I remember snow, girl, lie, truth, shoot, dog. I remember quite a lot. They had a different language because I know my father was down on the dock one day and this person come down and he was a deaf mute. And he couldn't understand my father. They had different signs. Some were the same. Of course, they never went off the island, so they kind of instituted their own, you know. And they had a sign for most everybody, for the person. Now, there's a fellow up here, he lost his hand in the threshing machine when he was young, and he lost his hand, so that you knew that was Benny Mayo. That was Gregory Mayo's great-grandfather. And Ernest Mayo, his was here because they used to hang May baskets. And they hung a May basket, and he run into somebody's clothesline, pretty near broke his neck. They hit him right across there, so that was a sign for Ernest Mayo. When anybody went like that, you knew he was talking about Ernest. And some of the rest of them, a lot of them I can't remember now. A fellow named Josie West loved to play cards, so we'd go over to the post office. It's where the Lombardi's is now. The mail come in there, and we'd go in there, and he'd be there, loved to play cards. He was a good card player, too. They had card parties to the town hall and the store. They played at the store. Sometimes they'd have it at people's houses. They'd have 3, 4 tables, you know. They were good card players because they could concentrate, you know, no distraction. But I remember all the signs. That was diamonds. That was clubs. That was hearts. That was spades. So our fellow and I went, he knew the signs and I did, so we cheat. We'd give each other signs. He'd know I had hearts, see? We were bad.
Before your time, there were more deaf people around Chilmark, weren't there?
Yeah, I think there was. There wasn't too many when I was around. There's about, well, let's see, there's Josie West, and Eva Lork, Katie West. There was only about 4 or 5. There was, I know before that there was a lot more that I don't, before I come around.
Can you show us the alphabet?
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z.
And can you count?
6, 7, 8, 9, that's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. One C is 100, see?
Great. Okay.
Oh dear.
That's all I ever want to do was go fishing. I went with my father when I was I guess I'm about 9 or 10, lobstering in the summer some. And then I used to go with my uncle up in the pond dragging for flounders in the wintertime. That's all I ever wanted to do.